UFC Fight Night Des Moines just ended. In the co-main event, we had Bo Nickal getting brutally exposed by Reinier de Ridder. And I'm going to break it all down in this video because Bo Nickal flat out quit in this fight. And I knew this was coming. I knew this day was coming. I know I didn't pick him. I know I didn't pick Reinier de Ridder. I switched my pick last minute, but that's besides the point. I knew this day was coming, and Bo Nickal got embarrassed tonight. He got humiliated tonight, and he quit inside the cage. And in my opinion, there's going to be some narratives that are spun by the media. This was the end of Bo Nickal's UFC career here tonight. I'm going to break it all down this video. We're going to talk about the fight. We're going to look at some slow-mo clips of Bo Nickal versus Reinier de Ridder. And I also have a couple other clips of Bo Nickal, different podcasts and interviews he's done over the last year or so that we're also going to take a look at in this video, which I highly recommend you waiting around to see those clips. But let's talk about the fight. I already did a full card post-fight. If you care about my opinion on the full UFC Des Moines card, I will link that down in the description. I encourage you to go check that out. But co-main event, Bo Nickal, Reinier de Ridder. The first time Bo has actually had to step in there with a decent fighter. Up until this point, the best fighter he's fought was the dead body of Paul Craig, who he actually fought a very competitive fight against the dead body of Paul Craig. He fought Cody Bumdage, was getting shucked all around the cage. We might actually take a look at that as well. I have that queued up as well, just in case I need it. He goes out there. He throws a couple shots. They end up clinching. Reinier de Ridder starts bodying him in the clinch. It doesn't happen right away. I think Reinier de Ridder might have tried to get a trip or something along those lines. But de Ridder starts smashing the body with knees. And Bo Nickal says, oh shit, he's beating me up. Let me get a takedown. So Bo got a takedown. He's on top. Almost 10, maybe 10 seconds of Bo Nickal being on top. Reinier de Ridder starts scrambling. Bo Nickal ends up kind of, on top but standing. Reinier de Ridder starts to scramble up. Bo tries to lock up a guillotine, falls to his back. Reinier de Ridder pushes across the fence, pushes against the fence, jumps across, avoids the guillotine, ends up in side control. On bottom, Bo Nickal can do jack shit. He can't do anything. He can't move. He's not really doing much. Eventually, after a few minutes, towards the end of the round, he scrambles up. He pushes Reinier de Ridder off. He scrambles up. Immediately gets clipped with like a couple shots and then gets taken down by Reinier de Ridder again. Close to the end of the round. Clear first round for Reinier de Ridder. And by the end of that round, I'm looking at Bo Nickal. He looks exhausted. He literally looked like he was gasping for air off bottom when Reinier de Ridder was on top of him. Reinier de Ridder tried to take his back. He landed a couple back shots dead in this position as well. I didn't mention that. Second round, Bo's looking tired. Reinier de Ridder comes out, immediately starts getting on him, clinching up with him, beating him up, peppering him with little shots to the body, knees to the body upstairs. Reinier almost makes it like a couple mistakes where he ends up kind of giving Bo his back standing. Bo Nickal's unable to do anything with it. He's not able to get a takedown. Nothing's really happening. Next thing you know, him and Bo are against the fence, and Bo just starts getting smashed with knees and little short body shots and little shots upstairs as well. And Bo literally looks like he's about to cry. You know what? Matter of fact, let me jump into this, boys. Let me jump into this a little bit right here, okay? All right, let me jump into this footage. We can't really play it too much, okay? But this is what I'm talking about right here. Okay, let me see if I can play a little slow-mo for you, okay? Let me just see if I can play a little for you. Look, Bo literally looks like he's about to cry here. I can't get copyright by the UFC. He's getting brutally exposed right here, and literally he's about to cry. I swear on my life. Look at this. Look at his face right here. Look at him. Look at that. Look at this. This is a man that's been spoiled his entire life, okay? And has been babied by the UFC and Dana White. He realizes he's going to get exposed here, okay? Then after these exchanges, or not even real exchange, it's just Reinier de Ridder beating the shit out of him in the clinch here, which I'll show you a little bit more of. Look, he's just kind of peppering him a little bit, little slow-mo video there. Finally, Bo Nickel says, you know what? What am I doing here crying in the clinch? Let me at least try to throw a couple shots. And he breaks. He breaks here. He throws a couple shots that miss. The next thing you know, Reinier de Ridder walks him down. This is literally right after that. Walks him down. Picture perfect knee. Again, don't want to play too much footage. Bo Nickel gets hit with that knee to the body and says, you know what? I'm quitting. I'm going to take a knee. My Penn State wrestling can't save me now. And just drops to a knee and just completely quits. Shout out Mike Beltran for being a shitty-ass ref. You thought I was going to compliment him? Hell no. Let him take some back shots. Like, what are you doing, bro? He took one knee to the body. You're going to step in and save him? Let him learn the hard way. And Reinier de Ridder touches him up with like one shot before Mike Beltran steps in and saves him. Now saves him. Now, before I get off this fight footage, I will show you this as well. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that Penn State wrestling here. Look at that Penn State wrestling. Look at it. Yeah, that Penn State wrestling there. Let's watch that again. Oh, that was glorious. Look at that Penn State wrestling. Yeah, he got taken down. The stats don't say it, but he got taken down. I don't care what anyone says. If this isn't a takedown, I don't know what is. So, there you go. There's the fight footage and the fight breakdown. But, man, before we get into any clips, Bo Nickel got exposed badly. He had nothing to offer on the feet. Before that step-in knee, by the way, Reinier de Ridder was smashing him with shots on the feet, like 3 or 4 punch combinations, just butchering Bo Nickel. This was after butchering him in the clinch and controlling him on the ground, and then a beautiful step-in knee that made him quit. There was no bright spots here. Absolutely no bright spots. And I knew this was coming for a long time. I thought Reinier de Ridder, even though I knew he was a good fighter, I just thought stylistically he's kind of sloppy on the feet. Bo's okay on the feet. He could avoid the takedown. Bo was forced to grapple. Bo Nickel wanted to fight this fight like he fought Paul Craig. Avoid the grappling, stay on the feet, and strike. But Reinier de Ridder just crowded him and beat the shit out of him. Forced Bo to try to grapple, which wasn't good for him either. And his cardio looked like shit. So his striking looked like shit. His grappling looked like shit. He got taken down by Reinier de Ridder. His ability to get up off bottom looked like shit. His heart looked like shit. And his stamina looked like shit. His durability looked like shit too. Anything else? Anything else? And this is what happens when you're an industry plant. This is what happens when you're propped up by Dana White in the UFC. Like, oh, Bo, you're so good, Bo. You trained at Penn State with Jerry Sandusky. Oh, my God, you're so great, Bo. You got that American wrestling, Bo. Just because dude had a wrestling singlet, they acted like he was the elite of the elite. They babied him for years. And I knew this was coming. I knew he was going to get exposed badly because, first off, I don't know anything about Bo Nickel's background history, family history. I can just tell by the way he carries himself that he was a spoiled little bitch his entire life. And then that transcended into his adulthood also by the UFC and Dana White. When he shit the bed against Cody Bumdidge and had a less than stellar performance against a literal scrub, Dana chased after him and said, Bo, you're still young, buddy. You're still going to do good, buddy. No, they were hyping him up because he had that American wrestling collegiate background. The media runs with it too because they wanted desperately Bo to be the American star that they so desperately dream of. And tonight, he finally had to fight someone who wasn't a complete dead body, and he gets destroyed everywhere. Everywhere. And in Bo's mind, I'll tell you this right now, I believe that this is the end of Bo Nickel's career, and I kind of hinted at that earlier. He's mentally broken now. You guys have to understand. He's like, wait a second. Mommy and Daddy, they bought me a King Ranch when I was 16. They've told me I'm the best in the world. Dana and everyone else and Chael told me the same thing. Chael Sonnen, that fucking clown. This video is going to get demonetized, by the way. And now Reinier de Ridder takes me out there and treats me like Conor McGregor treats women in hotel rooms in Ireland? What? He's mentally broken now. So the media is going to try to spin this narrative. Oh, this was good for Bo. This was good, man. He's going to face some adversity. He's young. He's damn near 30 years old. Okay? He's damn near 30 years old, guys. 30s, early 30s is basically your prime in MMA. They're going to be like, man, this adversity was so good for him. He's going to improve off of this. He may improve. I don't think he will. He's mentally broken now. He's like, no, Reinier de Ridder destroyed me. Also, I typically hate this expression. Oh, they don't like getting hit. Bo took one little short clinch shot to the face, and he looked like he was going to cry to mommy and daddy. Mommy, he hit me. Chael. Oh, my God. Chael's been blowing smoke up everyone's ass. I swear this wrestling community in general, these guys who wrestled in college, do they all just sit around jerking each other off 24/7? Because that's all DC and Chael Sonnen ever do. Bo Nickel, biggest prospect. But he's done jack shit. He got brutally exposed in every facet. And if he ain't beating Reinier de Ridder now, who doesn't have good striking, okay? Who's a decent fighter, don't get me wrong. He was number 13 ranked. By the way, Reinier de Ridder, my new favorite fighter on the entire roster. He's my hitman. Took out Kevin Holland. Took out Bo Nickel, and now he wants that beta male soy boy crybaby bitch Sean Strickland. Some may say I have a connect to Reinier de Ridder. Some may say I have a connect. But if he can't beat him now, arguably in his prime, then how is he going to beat the top of the division? Now, don't get me wrong. I think caught up in all this, Reinier de Ridder isn't getting enough credit. But to be honest, now that I've really seen Bo's skills against someone who isn't a complete pushover, I realize more than ever how shitty he was. And I said for the longest time, he's going to get exposed at middleweight. He'll probably make some excuses, and then he'll say, I'm too small for the weight class. I got to go down to welterweight. He may get one more fight, and he may go down to welterweight. And also, one thing I haven't seen really anyone point out, Bo was fighting scrubs for years, but instead of actually being active, he was showing up like once every 8 months. Like, dude, you're fighting bums. Why aren't you fighting every other month to get, experience? That's why they kept you on Dana White's Contender Series for a couple fights, to give you the experience you supposedly needed. And now it comes time to sink or swim, and Reinier de Ridder's whooping your ass like you owed him money. He whooped him like he owed him money. And dude straight up quit. I knew from the second those shots landed in the clinch, Bo was out of there. Go watch my live stream. I was calling it in the first round. I promise you, in the first round, I was saying he's done. He's quit. He's ready to just shell up and quit. And that's essentially what he did in this fight. And if he ain't beating Reinier de Ridder now, you think he's going to beat the top 5 of the division? Now, maybe Reinier de Ridder goes on and becomes a legit contender. I think he could beat Strickland. I would pick him over Strickland, most likely. That's a questionable fight. That's a wonky style because Reinier de Ridder is like an off-brand DDP. But look where DDP is now, and nobody ever believed in him. So maybe this isn't the worst loss. I believe the UFC and a lot of media people will say, this is a learning lesson for Bo, and Reinier de Ridder's a future contender. That's going to be kind of the new narrative. But I think Reinier de Ridder is probably better than people give him credit for. He deserves credit for this performance. But really, Bo Nickel was massively overhyped. He knocked out Val Woodburn. Oh, congratulations. Oh, he outgrappled Cody Bumdage. Everyone outgrappled Cody Bumdage. He beat the dead body of Paul. Meaningless. Bo Nickel got embarrassed. I never want to hear him mention Khamzat Chimaev's name ever again. Never again. Dude's talking about, I'm going to whoop Khamzat, man. Look at me, bro. I'm big. I'm from Penn State, bro. Look at my muscles, bro. I wrestled in college, bro. I'd whoop Khamzat. That will never happen. That fight will never happen. Khamzat would pants him. Khamzat could give him a swirly, and there's nothing Bo Nickel could do about it. Dude had to low blow Jamie Pickett to get him down. This is what happens when the UFC, Dana White, and a large portion of the fan base hyperinflate your ego. You start talking about actual good fighters like Khamzat Chimaev. Meanwhile, you're basically an upgraded version. You're basically a prime CM Punk. That's the truth. He's basically a prime CM Punk. And he really got embarrassed tonight and brutally exposed. And I'll tell you guys right now, he will never, ever be the same again. They'll give him a couple more bums. They'll probably try to get him his confidence back. He will never, ever be anything more than an industry plant. And this has been my take for years. I thought he'd barely get into the top 15. And now I don't know if he'll ever get into the top 15. That's how bad Bo Nickel is. The Penn State career, jerking off in the mirror. Oh, I went to Penn State. I wrestled at Penn State. Oh, yeah. That's what Bo was doing for the last 2 years, really. Staring in the mirror at himself, jerking off to his Penn State career. That's essentially what he did. Talking about Khamzat Chimaev. Apparently he said he would make easy work of DDP, which is hilarious. And now he got brutally exposed by Reinier de Ridder. And just for fun, I pulled up a couple clips for you, boys. I don't even know how I'm going to react to these because this shit is hilarious. Listen to Bo Nickel on a podcast asked about Khamzat Chimaev. Let's listen to this.
All right, so we heard the interviews on Ariel Helwani. I'm pretty sure it's Helwani of Khamzat Chimaev.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that his wrestling is pretty mid.
It's trash. I won't even say mid. What's
you
mid?
want to say his fakes are pretty good?
Like, dude, come on, bro. Like,
his wrestling is trash. Yeah, dude. Get taken down by Reinier de Ridder. Let's continue.
He's a 3-time Swedish national champion.
That's sick.
12 wins in 3 years, 0 losses.
That's incredible. 12-0 in 3 years. It's a wild record. Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like I can say whatever about his wrestling skills, his fighting skills, this and that. We're going to fight at some point, and people will realize.
No, you're not, bitch. You will never get that fight, Bo. Bo will never get that fight. This dude's an embarrassment, man. And I swear these guys that come from like the NCAA wrestling background, they got like this weird egotistical, like, I don't know if it's a persona or what, but it's like they think because they wrestled in college, a sport that nobody gives a fuck about most of the time. They think that somehow, oh yeah, man, I'm so great, I'm so special. Like, yeah, when we fight you're never fighting Khamzat, dude. Nobody wants to see that. Khamzat left nut would fucking destroy you, buddy.
As that there's levels, and it's just so funny. You go into a world of MMA where there's no other sport where people know less and think they know more. It's incredible. Like most people, like if you're a wrestler, you understand the scope, the landscape of.
That's so funny because he's essentially saying MMA fans know nothing. I know more than Bo. First off, I would wreck Bo in a pure wrestling match, okay? I'll never have the opportunity to prove it, okay? I'll never have the opportunity to prove it. I would wreck him in a pure wrestling match, and I would whoop him like a dog in an MMA fight. But Bo Nickel wouldn't dare step to these waters, okay? Okay, and it's never going to happen anyway. So why am I going to sit here bragging about something that's never going to happen? You know, it's not cool to talk about someone who's proven more to you and act like you'd whoop them when you probably wouldn't, and also it's never going to happen, huh? Is that what some of you Bo Nickel fans are maybe thinking? Let's jump on to the next clip I want to check out with, I don't know, his little two fairy friends here. I don't even know, man. I think this is this strikes me like when I watched this clip back before I did this video, there's a whole lot of homosexual rigmarole going on here. Is really my take. And this was Bo Nickel talking about fighting Robert Whitaker. Listen to this.
Robert Whitaker. And here's the question that everyone is asking. Bo, did you get a call to fly to Saudi Arabia on 10 days notice?
I did get a call. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I got a call while I was in the mountains of Montana, and I didn't get back to cell service for 3 days. And so
he made this shit up. I said this way back when this initially, man, they called me about Whitaker, but man, I didn't have cell service, brother. Man. So, man, they called me. Look at them laughing. I mean, look at this. They laugh at every word he said. I mean, Bo's been surrounded by yes men in a family that never says no for his entire life. No wonder he has this weird inflated confidence because the UFC and Dana ran with it as well as a lot of the fan base was hoodwinked over it. But let's listen to these guys, jerk off each other.
I came back into cell service to a few text messages saying, call me back. And it was too late. I was like, okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I'm glad you.
Yeah, that's crazy. Things that didn't happen, okay? That's things that didn't happen for 200, okay?
You were out of cell service.
I know, yeah. I'm like,
By the way, low-key, his friend just absolutely destroyed him here because he'd get decimated by Robert Whittaker. Listen to what his friend has said here. I kind of stepped on him.
I was like, okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So
I'm glad you were out of cell service.
I know, yeah. I'm like, and I'm not gonna like disclose numbers, but they were up there.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it was like, it was just too late. I couldn't even really consider it because they had already kind of figured everything out the way they were going to do it because I was gone.
He didn't have cell service. But those numbers they offered him were so... Why they offering him numbers if they never even got a yes? Should have been, hey, are you willing to fight Whittaker? Yes. What's the offer? Okay, here's the numbers. But we never got close to it. They never talked to me. So they're texting him random numbers or texting his manager random numbers while he's out in the mountains with no cell service. I don't believe it for 1 second. And Whittaker would have wrecked him. Next thing I want to take a look at. And by the way, guys, if you enjoyed these videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video. This one actually pissed me off to the point I made a whole video about this way back when. Okay? He's talking about Khamzat Chimaev, who was hospitalized, deathly ill, and had to pull out of the original Robert Whittaker fight. Okay, listen to this.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't really want to go to Saudi Arabia and fight. Like, that's freaking far as crap. But yeah, that dude's losing his aura a bit.
Well, he hasn't.
Hold on, this is just too golden. This is just too golden. Let's see what he says.
Saudi Arabia and fight, like, that's freaking far as crap. But yeah, that dude's losing his aura a bit.
That dude's losing his aura a bit. I'm sitting here in socks with 3 other grown men who lick my balls. That dude's losing his aura a bit. I mean, who lost their aura? You tell me. I mean, seriously, you tell me who lost their aura. Look at us. Look at us. Look at us. You guys tell me that this isn't a guy who lost his aura. Oh, wait, you never had. Look at this. He's begging mommy for attention. Actually, you know what? Talk about losing aura. You guys tell me. Eye gouging Cody Bumditch. This is Bo Nickel Cody Bumditch here. He's eye gouging him here, right? Okay. He's eye gouging him here. Watch this vicious. Wait till you see this vicious ground and pound. Okay. First off, he's cheating again. Look at this vicious ground and pound. This isn't, I mean, this isn't losing your aura. I don't know what is. Look at us. Yeah, really, really vicious ground and pound, Bo. Even Cody can't believe it. One of the worst fighters in the UFC. And then lastly, talk about losing aura. This is him with his Penn State wrestling against Cody Bumditch. Look at this. Got shucked off like a little bitch. Got thrown on his head by Cody Bumditch. Let's watch that back. Look at this. Got dumped on his little ginger head. He gets up. All right, back to this. Let's listen to some more because it gets way worse here.
Well, he hasn't fought. And all right, this is the thing that I do want to say. Like, obviously, Khamzat Chimaev. He's going to be your rival, and
he just needs to keep freaking winning and not doing this crap.
Well, he needs to.
I forgot about that part. He just needs to keep winning and stop getting thick. Oh, he got thick during COVID. I mean, are we being serious right now? He needs to keep. You know what, Bo? You should have kept winning instead of just brutally shelling up and quitting against Reinier de Ridder. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at it. Look at that position. I mean, Anthony Smith taught him this move. Anthony Smith taught him this move. Shell up in a ball and do nothing until the ref jumps in. I mean, that's Anthony Smith's patented move. That's his special move. I hope he got permission. But look at these clowns. This dude over here, Pipsqueak over here with no shoes on, dirty-ass socks, rubbing his little ankles, saying he just needs to keep winning. Or no, that was Bo, but he was talking about Chimaev not fighting.
To actually fight. He doesn't. Yeah. He just needs to be able to step in the octagon.
Who's his last fight?
And this is crazy considering how inactive Bo is.
Wait. It wasn't Kevin Holland, was it?
It was Kevin Holland.
That was his last fight?
No. It was Usman.
Usman, yeah. He fought Usman. Yeah, that's right.
So he hasn't fought a real 185er.
Ever.
Yet.
No.
And
meanwhile, Bo is fighting nothing but absolute garbage cans up until this point. This was 10 months ago, okay? Bo hadn't even fought Paul Craig yet. He's fighting Cody Bumditch. He's fighting Jamie Pickett. And like, yeah, man, this dude hasn't even fought a real 185. I mean, this These clowns here, this little clown Pipsqueak, this little dude here, this is the epitome of the people that Bo Nickal has surrounded himself with to hype him up and tell him everything he wants to hear, whisper sweet nothings into his ear. Let's continue.
Like, granted, he's sick. Can't do anything about an illness or anything, but
Good.
will not get sick. That would be a good solution.
That's what I do. Just don't get.
That's what I do. Don't get sick. I mean, think about it. At this point, we're hearing Khamzat's hospitalized. And this dude's like, just don't get sick, you bum. You know, imagine you say, hey, Bo, I was wondering, you're one of my favorite fighters. My mom recently came down with cancer. I was wondering if you could pray for her since you're religious. He's like, just don't get sick. Imagine, I mean, what a piece of shit.
Get sick.
But, yeah, I mean, he said that you can't wrestle, but at least you can wrestle currently.
These guys are so sensitive about their wrestling accolades. Like, nobody gives a rat's ass about your collegiate wrestling career. He's like, yeah, man, he said you can't wrestle. Like, dude, what do you got up your ass, dude? Come off it. And look at Bo, looking like a fucking dweeb.
Really right now is the big thing.
I'm not in a hospital, so
Yeah.
I can. Yeah,
He
technically
can.
Yeah.
I think he's probably overtraining because he gets sick
Well,
a lot.
I don't think he's over training. I think he's over partying.
Think?
You think that he's
I
a
don't
partier?
know. Probably. I don't know. What else would?
I don't know. Dude laughed at him being hospitalized. Says, yeah, I can wrestle right now. He can't because he's in the hospital. Imagine that. Imagine, like, listen to this again. Just gets me riled up right now. And he's like, man, I think he's partying. Really? I don't know. I just made that up. I pulled it out of my ass. Like, Bo, not everyone's partying like you because your parents probably have a mansion. They bought you a King Ranch. They paid for you to go to Penn State and hang out with Jerry Sandusky. We get it, Bo. You wrestled, bro. I mean, this shit really aggravated me. There's a little bit more.
be?
I think he's overtraining. Like, just from seeing his stuff, I think he just like goes crazy and gets super run down, and then gets like, because he's gotten like sick bad like this before a fight.
I've just heard rumors about like him and Till and stuff, like crazy stuff.
Really?
Oh, really? I mean, look at these fucking dweebs. I can't even listen to this anymore. Yeah, I heard rumors about him and Darren Till partying it up. Like, what kind of grown men are these? They're talking about rumors of other dudes partying together. Shut the hell up. Next clip. It's gonna be like a 40-minute video. Next clip. Chael Sonnen. You know what? I'm gonna skip back. I'm going to show you what led to Bo Nickal saying what he's about to say. Let me just show you Chael Sonnen, the complete and utter con man who pushes anybody who ever wore a wrestling singlet before. Let's listen to what Chael has to say here.
What fights are you excited about in the near future that are happening? What are some fights that you got you?
Bo Nickal's next fight, which will reignite the conversation of Bo Nickal versus Khamzat Chimaev. There is nothing I
Cosmic Chimaev? Who the hell's Cosmic Chimaev? And
enjoy
for the love of
speaking
God,
of-
is he filming this in his shed with no AC? Look at this. I don't know if you guys can see. This is sweat stains right here. Listen to this.
about more than what would happen with Bo and Chimaev. And I don't just want to talk about the fight or 3 rounds versus 5 rounds. I want the specific takedown. Who's going to go for it? Who's going to get the other one there?
I'll tell you, Chael. I'll tell you what would happen. Khamzat Chimaev would go out there. He'd pick Bo Nickal up and drop him on his little head. And then land some back shots dead. TKO first round. Khamzat would finish him in the first minute, I'm convinced. Could be TKO. It could be wedgie. It could be submission. That's what would happen, Chael. But let's listen to what Bo Nickal has to say in response about him versus Khamzat and how that fight would go.
One again.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's the fight I've been wanting for a long time, and we'll make it happen. I think that it's just like that fight is massive, and it's been talked about since I very first started MMA, and so I feel like
Because you've been talking about it.
the proper circumstance is for the belt. Like, it has to be for the belt in my mind. So
It's seeming like that's the only circumstance. I agree.
yeah, and
This dude ain't ever touching a belt. They're going to have to gift him a title shot off a non-top 15 win, which is possible. The UFC's going down a slippery slope now. Very, very possible. But this dude is talking about fighting for a belt against Khamzat one day. At this point, he hasn't even beaten Paul Craig yet when this interview was going on.
so that it changes the timeline a little bit, because it's like, oh well,
well, let's see. If I get into the rankings and he's number whatever, like we could fight. But I feel like that it's owed to, I think, us as fighters, to the fans, to the MMA community for that to be a world championship fight. And
Bro thinks he's fighting for a belt, hasn't even beaten Paul Craig yet in this interview, in this podcast episode. How delusional is this? I mean, talking about embarrassing. If I was Bill Gates or, Mark Zuckerberg or any of these other billionaires or multi-millionaires, the first thing I'd be doing on Monday morning is getting in touch with Dana White and like, how much money do I have to pay for you to book Bo Nickal, Khamzat Chimaev? Because Khamzat would wreck him. Khamzat would dump him on his head. Khamzat would sub him. Khamzat would have his way with him. He could do whatever he wanted to Bo. He could tease him. He could hold him down and give him a wedgie. He could give him a purple nurple. And there's nothing little ginger boy could do about it. There's nothing wrong with being ginger. But there's nothing he could do about it. He's like, yeah, man, one day we owe it to the fans, man. We got to fight over a title. What a joke. What a joke. And I'm going to skip ahead. We could listen to a little bit more of this. I'm going to skip ahead because this next shit is really delusional as well. And I mean, this dude's just a complete clown. Listen to this. How well is this age, guys? How well is this age?
it's hard to say exactly where he's at. I think that he's good. He's got skills. But his biggest thing that's going to crush him, especially against a fight against me, is, dude, you're going to get tired. Like, you're going to go like this, and I'm going to go like this as the fight goes on. And, you're not going to take me down, which is your best attribute. So you're going to have to strike with me. I'm probably going to be able to take you down.
First off, the Khamzat cardio thing is a total myth. I'm not gonna re-go into that. How was Bo's cardio tonight, boys, against Reinier de Ridder? He took 3 body shots, and this dude was gasping for air. He grappled with another guy. He was gasping for air. The first time he met a little resistance, he curled into a little ball like a little bitch and cried in the corner until Mike Beltran saved him. That's what happened here, okay? And this dude's talking about Khamzat's cardio. Khamzat's cardio, who's going 3 hard rounds with Kamaru Usman. He's going 3 hard rounds with Gilbert Burns. This dude's talking about, yeah, man, my cardio, bro. My cardio, man, would absolutely destroy him. I mean, what a joke. And last clip I want to look at, this is an interview with DC. I'll link all these down in the description if you want to check them out. They're kind of old, but listen to this.
I want to be the best. I think he's probably the best, so let's fight. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out who's better, me or you. Let's figure out American wrestling, Dagestani wrestling. Like, I'm not like one that's really, I'm just very curious. I'm like, I think I'm the best. So, let's get in there and test it out.
Let's test it out. Who needs to see that? Who needs to see? All I need to see is this right here. All I need to see is this right here. Right here, look. Look at this. Look at this. Like, if you're in this position, if I can see the bottoms of your feet in the center of your brown eye when you're fighting Cody Bumditch and you're getting taken down by Reinier de Ridder, I'm pretty confident that the Chechnyan Khamzat Chimaev Boers would take your lunch money. I mean, talk about getting exposed brutally. And, I mean, at this point, if you can't admit that Bo is a total fraud, I think you're just a weirdo who probably wrestled in high school and has some weird emotional attachment to wrestling. You're like, man, this dude used to wrestle, man. This dude was wrestling. He's so good. He went pro. He's still young. He's going to learn from this. I promise you this dude will never sniff a title. And if he does, which I don't think he will, even undeserved, it will be grossly undeserved. This will not be a turning point in his career. He will get wrecked by every top middleweight. I mean, imagine what Fluffy Hernandez would have done to him. Okay? Imagine what Adrikas Duplessis would do to him. Imagine what Khamzat Chimaev would do to him. Imagine what Caio Baralho would do to him. I would pick Abus Magomedov against Bo Nickal right now. Abus Magomedov. His only chance to maybe get a win would be share a bullet Magomedov, who can't wrestle to save his life, who can't defend a single leg to save his life or a double leg to save his life. This dude went to Penn State, has been gloating about it for years, acting like it makes him the best MMA fighter when he's a glorified version of CM Punk. And I, for one, was very, very happy to see Reinier de Ridder brutally expose the fraud that is Bo Nickal, who cheats to win fights. He cheated against Cody Bumditch. He cheated against Jamie Pickett. Who knows how many other times he cheated that I'm just not forgetting or not remembering right off the top of my head right now. And Reinier de Ridder treated him like his actual skill set is, which is bottom of the barrel, low tier UFC fighter that would have been laughed out of the organization years ago. So that's my recap of the co-main event. If you want to check out my full card post-fight, go check that out. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and thank you so much for watching.